So continuing the theme of 500GB hard drives, you have this plug-and-play USB one here filled with Launchbox, which is a great front end, and this one comes preloaded. You might be wondering, what are the differences between all these 500GB hard drives? Well, this one only has one front end. It only has Launchbox. The PC games on this build are on Launchbox. You do get Grand Theft Auto 5. So you're getting newer systems with more popular games. Those games are a little bit bigger in size, so you're giving up the super retro stuff like Atari to make room for some of those CD-based games. This thing runs great. I really like Launchbox. You can buy a license to Launchbox and run it on Big Box, which is really cool, and you can always expand on this or transfer the files to your computer and duplicate it, do whatever you want. So under 30 bucks, this is the type of hard drive you'll be getting. You do have to change your drive letter on this one and install your prerequisites, but other than that, you can just plug it into a mini PC or computer and get rocking and rolling. So let's show you how to set it up, and then we'll check out all the games. So this is how you change the drive letter. You want to go to your My Computer, right click, hit manage, go to disk management here, find the hard drive, change it, and you're good. We're on end now. Don't have to install those. We're just gonna launch Launchbox. Here it is. You get basically 3,800 games, but they're decent games, right? We got Nintendo 64. We have the entire collection here, especially some Japanese games as well. As you see on the bottom, it says 391 out of the 3,800 games total. You can click on a game. You can get the information on it on the right side here if you want. And it tells you all about the game, the publisher, all kinds of things. But let's look through the system here. You got NES. NES is a complete disaster. It's over 1,700 games. But just organization-wise, it's, some images are here, some aren't. You got some hacks, some remakes, some Japanese games. It's got everything. It's just a little bit of a mess. But you name it, it's got even Micro Machines. Great game right there. Nintendo GameCube, 35 games. Not bad. Pretty good collection. Got the Zeldas, the Mario Karts. I really like this Wii collection. I think it's decent. It's good. There's a lot of good games that you'll actually play. Nintendo Switch, you do have Link's Awakening, and you have Mario Odyssey, and you have ARMS, and then a couple smaller games. Splatoon 2 as well. So not bad for a little Switch collection. Get yourself playing some games. You can always add your games as well. Wii collection, I like all these games. Good pick of games there. Wii U, again, great games. But again, it's only 500 gigabytes, so you can only put a few games each. Sega Dreamcast, really good games, although there's a lot more games than this available on that console. But a small little bit there. Sega Genesis, this is finally organized, pretty organized. All the games, artwork's looking pretty good. And pretty much all the games are on here, including Echo Jr. And 657 total there. PS1, 95 games, so not too bad. In case you're curious what's on here, I'll scroll a little slower for you. Siphon Filter, Silent Hill, V-Rally, Mega Man's, Harvest Moon, Digimon, a couple Digimons, Diablo, Breath of Fire 3. PS2, you have 51 games, so almost as many PS2 games as PS1. A few of these games I would take out, like why Guitar Hero and Guitar Hero 5 doesn't really help you out. Most people aren't buying. The same with the Karaoke Revolution. I would just throw those ones out. I don't know why they're on here. Most people buying this are not going to be hooking that stuff up. But all the other games are pretty good. SSX, Spider-Man 2, Ratchet & Clank, etc. Metal Gear Solid. PS3, now the Wolf Among Us does not render very well. These other 4 games are great. So highly recommend those 4. PS4, these are actually just computer games. So you do have The Witcher 3, Prototype 2, and Grand Theft Auto 5 for the PC. It says PS4, but it's just a PC game. I'm going to skip down to Windows here and also show you it comes with Final Fantasies, 3 of them here. Then you got Brotato, Dave the Diver, Dead Cells, Double Dragon, and Vampire Survivors. And then last but not least, you have the entire NES collection with box art. Very nice, very clean. This stuff's so easy to find online and so small, not a big deal. But some of these bigger games, I can see why, getting something like this, it gives you all the emulators, it gives you Launchbox, you can always drag and drop additional games to it, copy these over, or it's a nice little drive to get started. So there's what you got on. All right, so here we are on GameCube. Controls were good, goes into full screen mode, no problem. You can see the resolution is great, no lag, running really well. So that's a good sign. This runs on the Dolphin emulator. The Dolphin emulator also runs it runs GameCube and Wii games. And yeah, so that's really great. A little bit about this build. Between the 3 hard drives, this one is Launchbox only, so the great thing about that is you only have one front end to load, and then everything loads off of that. It's a little weird because you have PS4 games, and for those who don't know, you can't really emulate PS4 yet, but what those are basically PC games. They're just rerouted, so they're actually just loading up a PC version of the game. But you do get Grand Theft Auto 5, and you get the Final Fantasy games. You get like a few others, and they're larger games. So that's what you're getting in this build, where you're not getting the Atari, you're not getting any of the Nintendo portable systems, or a very small amount of them. So if you are into newer, like 2000s or so era games, this is for you. So we're now on PlayStation 3. This is Wolf Among Us, and as you see, it's running pretty well. A lot of people ask me what kind of computer I'm on. I'm on a gaming laptop. This has like a 3070 Ti in it, and it's got an i7 processor. It's pretty beefy. It's like a $1,000 laptop or so. And but anything about $500 or so, mini PC, an i5 or better is going to run a lot of this stuff. When you get into PlayStation 3 and Wii U, you might need a little bit more horsepower. But here we are staying in PlayStation 3. We're now on Ridge Racer 7. As you see, it runs flawlessly. Again, it's just a matter of your computer, but the controls are preset up. Everything else is preset up. So that's another nice thing about this hard drive is it's great for newbies. You just plug it in, and if you have an Xbox 360 controller, all the controls should just, pair up no problem at all. Another question I get with the PC games, they all are pre-set up and installed, so there's no extra installation you have to do there. As far as, concerns and things, there's always, these hard drives, as you saw in the beginning of the video. They're Seagate drives, 500 gigabyte. They're probably refurbished. And if you're going to be a heavy user, if you want to buy your own, 1 terabyte drive or 500 gigabyte drive and just copy this over to have to know that it'll be working for years and years and years, then I absolutely go for it. But for me, maybe I'm out of touch with the price point. I don't know, you tell me. But for under $30, like if it lasts a year, like I'd be plenty happy with that. But for sure, if you want to be extra, you want to make sure you have it and just have a plan B and be extra sure that it'll always be there, then yeah, that's not a bad choice at all to transfer it over. So we're on PlayStation 2 now. Again, as you see, running great. I didn't have to change any controls. Emulating really well. You can see there's no bezels for this emulator, and you can see that the PlayStation 3, we were running that in full screen. So this does come 4:3 as far as the aspect ratio. And then when you get into N64 next, you'll notice some bezels there. So the big question, I think, is I've received 3 of these drives. I'm making 3 videos for all 3 drives. Which one is the best? This one really, they're all fairly similar. The biggest thing is that this is only Launchbox, so you don't have any playnite. You don't have to double click anywhere. It's all in that one build. And then this one has newer games. The GTA 5 is a huge game on this one that's taking up a good amount of space. Some more Wii U, and PS3 games. There's also a few extra Switch games on here I noticed as well. So that's really the biggest difference here. In my opinion, the hard drives are exactly the same. They're all cheap, refurbished hard drives, so you're not really getting any difference there. And then a lot of the collections, as you saw, like Super Nintendo, they're identical on top of each other. The one thing that would disappoint me if I was only buying one hard drive about this one is that it doesn't have any arcade MAME games. I'm a big fan of MAME games, the games that you played in arcade as a kid. And so, that's why I might choose one of the other ones over this one. But if I wanted newer games and console games only, this is a great choice for that. There's like 6 or 7 of the 500 gigabyte drives on the market. Jay Monchin, the ones that you'll see in the link's description, has 3 of them. So you can see those 3, but there's also the Ken Hank one, and I've seen a few others. So as far as all this, they're all very identical, so don't get too overwhelmed. But now you know what's on here, and you can make the choice yourself. So anyways, that's what I think. Let me know what y'all think. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and we'll catch you on the next one.